Hey, so this is a podcast / show that I did with John Whiting of Bulletproof Entrepreneur. I signed up with the Bulletproof Entrepreneur Teddy, which is, I think, his Kevlar program, March of 2022. And I can't tell you how it has helped me as an entrepreneur. So thankful. I think most of the times I'm writing in my journal and it says, what are you grateful for? John and his program and his tools are in there. Just like one of my many, teachers along the way. He's just one in my current story. And it's really cool because no one's ever really heard the entire story of just me and where I got started. I'm usually always the one asking questions. So you get the full story here. You get the full story of where it all started, how it came to fruition, and, a lot of bumps along the way. And actually, what got me through those bumps. And so, yeah, if you listen to this, we're always here to help. We're always here to serve, to bless, to guide, to whatever need be. And also, John, if anything about this calls to you, please check out his program, the Bulletproof Entrepreneur, and the Teddy system. We didn't talk about Teddy. Teddy is actually something where it's a data system, hold your numbers kind of thing. And for me, as someone that's never been around this type of number thing, this, accounting, business shit, it just felt so safe. It makes so much sense. And so, and in his Bulletproof Entrepreneur, I feel like almost every entrepreneur should have to go through his program. So anyway, we'll be sure to leave the links in the podcast notes. Go check it out. He'll be on YouTube. And just much love, much gratitude for this relationship, for him and his family, Melissa, and for his program, and also just for this time. Because it's my story. So enjoy, and if you like this episode, be sure give us a review. All right, talk to you soon.
Those of you playing along at home, please let the people know, what do you do and how did you get into whatever it is that you do and all that stuff. What's the origin story that led up to what's your jam?
So, the clickbaity bro thing is I help goal-oriented women, career women, lose weight by balancing their hormones.
Yeah.
So,
but what's the non-clickbaity bro real version?
Yeah. What's the non-clickbaity?
Yeah.
So what we do is, I'm a trauma-informed coach, which means, because trauma, we're trying to actually take that word out because it's taboo. A lot of people hear it and get triggered. A lot of people hear it and go, oh, I have a good childhood. I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fuck that word. So now I'm just kind of saying more, the reason why, workouts don't work. They do, but they don't. If they did, the industry wouldn't be $1 billion industry.
Right.
People get on them, they fall off. They've struggled with the same fucking 20 pounds for their whole life. They have compensatory behaviors. They think that starving themselves is good. Their hormones are fucked. People are not healthy. And so, and I see that as a problem. And I personally spent $50,000 trying to get healthy. I had these unexplained health issues. Doctors were telling me I'm normal. I'm tired as fuck. I have cystic acne, no libido, hair thinning, I'm young.
This is how long ago?
Shit. I was 54 on paper when I was 24.
You were what on paper?
When on paper, when I had all these tests done, they were like, you're like a 55-year-old woman. And I was in my early 20s.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
You mean your metabolic age or something?
Metabolic age,
okay.
Everything.
Holy shit.
Periods were whack. Yeah,
wow.
It was horrible.
Wow.
Panic attacks, all kind of health issues, sick all the time. And anyway, so I've always been into health. I started in nursing. I started in a medical background because I knew I wanted to help people. I was fascinated because I sucked as a student, but I excelled in biology, science, anatomy, all that stuff. And so I knew that was my arena. I loved helping people as well. And I also liked women. There's something about women that I liked about the childbirth. There's something about the woman productive system. Anyway, seeing the problem with weight loss, there's a problem here because why are we all spending this money? Nobody can give us answers. We're still struggling. We're still fucking tired. And as a business owner, you got to be healthy.
Yeah.
You can't depend on caffeine every day. You can't. You can, but show me a person that's dependent heavily on that every day. Their adrenals are shot.
Yeah.
They're compensating for something. They're not allowing themselves to rest and be tired. And that causes problems. That develops autoimmune diseases later in life. So anyway, getting back to this. So we're taking the trauma out. We're realizing that, listen, let's just say it's a nervous system issue, because it is.
Yeah.
Things happen. We get like the fire. You get stressed out. You get shocked. You do things, you get kind of like disoriented, you disassociate because of a traumatic event. All right. Some things that happen to you, we have fucking life, man.
Yes. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got this mindset thing. So anyway, we figured like, listen, if we can clear the root of when that started, even if it's genetic, go beyond genetics. What's in the coding of that genetic that caused that stress? If we can go to the root of that and clear it out of the nervous system and in the actual DNA, the coding, there's success. It's almost like free your mind. When you start clearing charges, you're free, you're clean.
And so how did you go from the traditional medical route to what you just said?
Oh, because Western medicine, white coats, they take care of sick people.
But there was a moment where you realized that at least how we're raised on Western medicine is a little different than probably maybe what works. So I'm curious, what was there a moment for you where you like had a realization of like, oh shit, this is fucked up?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of those. I would just say I got so tired of having no answers. Going to doctors, you're telling me I'm normal, bullshit, let me go to somebody else. And then you're telling me that I've got to take all these supplements and spend all this money and with a saliva test, and I've got this out here, and I'm still not getting better. What's going on? So I just kept seeking.
How long did that go on for?
Phew, man, holy shit. Well, seeking 2009 until 2019.
Wow.
I mean, it was a long time.
And so what got you into, to be clear, what the timeline on this, what got you into a place where your health was not where you wanted it? Like, what were you doing?
Oh, man. Okay. At that time, well, I mean, in my 20s. Okay. Very self-destructive. Partier, like a motherfucker. Okay. Drinking, partying. Like, I can party. I'm talking like, they say the gateway drug is weed. Bullshit. It's alcohol. Because when I do alcohol, I'm like, who's got some Coke? I didn't do a lot of Coke. It just sounds fun. But I'm just, anyway. Drank a lot. Taking pills.
Okay.
Snorting pills.
This was in college, high school?
I would say late high school, because my parents went through some shit, dog. My mom got on Oxycontin. Remember that?
And where are you from?
West Georgia.
West Georgia. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know where Sam Hunt, the singer
okay.
went to school with him.
Okay.
So I smoked a lot of weed in high school, but I was a goody-goody leading up to that point. Being a goody-goody just kind of didn't work out for me there in high school. I kind of got to a point where I'm like, fuck this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck everybody kind of in the teen thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go find some friends that I can vibe with and smoke a lot of weed and fucking zone out. That's all I can have. Had all I can take.
Yeah.
But growing up, and I just grew up, I think my ACE score, like if you look at traditional therapy, you do like an ACE trauma score.
Okay.
So anything over like a 4, it puts you at risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, and like a really bad fucking life.
Okay.
Mine was like an 8. Okay.
On a scale of 10?
10.
Okay.
Mine was like an 8. So, but I thought I had a great childhood. You taught to be thankful. You got a roof over your head, fucking mom and dad. Like, I thought like, I had great parents, my dad, this and that, mom. Anyway, little fucked up, but isn't everybody fucked up,
Right.
Anyway, so that was my early upbringing. Raised in the country, work your ass off, grew up on a cattle farm on 400 acres, drove trucks, hauling hay when I was 7, shooting fucking 410 shotguns, going dove hunting. Like, thought I was a boy. Okay. That's it. So, and then in my 20s, college years, man, just hammering Jack Daniels. Okay. So drinking, staying up late, very self-destructive. I didn't know that. Just staying up late, it's not good. I know you go to bed early. So that's good practice.
It wasn't always that way.
Yeah. So, man, staying up late, emotionally, just, in bad relationships, all that shit.
Yeah. So that got you into a place where you're like just kind of hit a dead end, and you started looking for answers. And from that point,
well, actually, there's a missing piece.
Okay.
This is where people. Okay, there we go. So education always, it led me education always pulled me forward.
Yeah.
So started going to like a little tech school because I was not going to go to college. Absolutely not. Was on the dean's list in that thing because I was super interested in it. And I my GPA was 1.4. I was in homeschool twice in my senior year. Yeah, no. So anyway, but I got on the dean's list in the little tech school, like in my class or whatever, because it was something I was interested in. After that, I kind of got into the health thing. I was like, let me start work. I just kind of wanted to work out.
Yeah.
Would go in and out of shit. I thought like broccoli and a treadmill meant you were gonna like really be super sexy.
Get jacked, yeah.
Yeah, get that. So then I pulled out of the little medical school stuff I was doing to start a business called Food People in Buckhead in Atlanta, Georgia in 2008.
Wow.
Which is now like Uber Eats.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Huh.
We lost our ass. Skip thought we put everything into this and went partnered with these old dudes and an investor.
Oh, wow.
And holy shit, I was so scared. Going down to big city, little me, little country girl, coming to big city.
What was it called? The
Food People.
Okay.
Food People. Oh man, Food People, I love it. And it was way before its time. And we crushed it, man. We signed up a lot of restaurants and it was running and we were hiring people. I mean, I'm little old Casey at 21's like running this shit.
Now, was that your first entrepreneurial seizure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I've been selling shit since I was a kid. I'd sell apples on the side of the road.
Oh, okay.
I'd sell lemonade, Kool-Aid. I'd sell anything. And then I would work at fairs. I would make shit for girls' hair. I would make bracelets and sell all that shit when I was
now,
like
what
8.
was it that got you? Because I didn't get into sales until much later. What is it as a kid that made you all about it? Like, I didn't even know there was like a thing called sales, like at a young age, to be honest with you.
I didn't either. I just was fascinated. I can put everybody to work. I had a store called Mula Mula in my basement and I sold rocks and made shit. Okay. So, since I was little, I would charge my parents to go up and down the hallway. I had cash registers. I was fascinated. I've got videos of me selling shit to a camera at 7.
Wow.
So
what influenced that? We have any idea where that came from? Had to have seen it on something.
Only thing I can think of was TK and Mike, a comedian that had the VHS comic hunting shows.
Interesting.
I don't anything before that. I think my grandparents had a video camera. I just really liked playing with it. But cash registers, bro.
Yeah. Some like little girls dress up maybe with a camera. You're selling shit to the camera. Perhaps in your past life you were doing infomercials. We don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So, the business thing, and I come from entrepreneurs. Like I come from that way of thinking, my dad's side.
Okay.
So maybe I'll watch. I don't know.
Okay.
So I started doing that. But anyway, so the company thing in Buckhead in Atlanta failed miserably. And we got really unhealthy. You talk about drinking. Skip got over 300 pounds. Okay. I got really unhealthy and something happened. I don't know what it was. Oh, we didn't have any money and I had to go wait tables. And during lunch hour, I was like, I'm going to go work out. And we didn't, Skip didn't even have a car at the time. And he would walk to the gym. And I'd go work out on my lunch break. And I found something. I saw a girl in a magazine and she looked so sexy, but so feminine. And I was like, it just fucking lit something up in me, man. And I started doing that. And the people would ask me, what are you training for? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just sweating. I'm just jumping around, Got into fitness. And then next thing, I started reading Oxygen magazine and really got into that. It was just fascinating. And then turned on this nutritional healing thing. Like, holy shit. I found this guy called Doug Kaufman, Know the Cause. He was talking about mycotoxins and how antibiotics can do this. I'm like, that's why I've been sick my whole life. Holy shit. So I'm getting into like holistic healing and these light bulbs are going off. I'm starting to shop differently. And next thing you know, Skip's down 100 pounds by what I learned. And I'm like, there's something to this. The next thing you know, I'm like, I'm going to get trained. I'm going to get certified. Just kept growing, kept getting in the know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of like where it all started.
Gotcha. And then when did that parlay into business? Did the current business start as Hot Moms or was it named something else?
So when I got into that, I'm a very addictive personality in case you can't tell. I'm not on speed. I fucking came off Adderall. I'm not on caffeine. Somebody just accused me of being on a fat burner. I'm not on shit. This is my natural state. Maybe it's from the shit I've been through, but I got, I turned the fitness into an addiction, obsessive. It got to be where, and then I wanted to compete, which, about 2010, I'm doing well. I got really healthy. Skip got healthy. Here I go again. Can we take it up a notch? You know what I'm saying? Can't be just happy. And I got into shamanism. I didn't know it at the time. Don't know if you know what that means, but I started just kind of like, because some fitness
for those
people,
who don't.
Some of those fitness people are weird. You ever know the kind of granola and like let's meditate and shit?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I thought those people were kind of like weird. But I've always been into psychics. Well, I called my first psychic. Remember those hotlines when we were little? And they would be like,
call me now for your free reading.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
And you would charge it to your phone line.
Yeah.
So I did that and got in big trouble.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
I've always been into psychics. I started going to psychics as soon as I could drive because I'm like, fuck all you. I'm going to one myself. I don't know. Just always I wanted to be a witch when I was 13. Started like when I went through puberty, I was like I want to like.
So when did the fuck all of you? You said that like 18 times. So
Fuck all you.
When did that fuck all of you start?
High school.
And why?
Oh man, my family literally fell apart. Mom became an addict officially. Dad started working his company and making six figures, and that caused a whole nother level of stress for him. And then she did that. My little brother had just been born. I mean, it was just like perfect storm. Things came to a head.
I see.
And at that point, my whole life was, let me make sure I can keep everybody happy. You know, as the family empath, you the glue that kind of felt like you held things together, and you were the source of happy for everybody.
Were you aware of that at the time?
Hell no.
Okay.
Absolutely
You
not.
say as the family empath, like you had a name tag at the time. Like, no.
Now that I know this,
My role is the family empath.
no. So check this out. If you
Yeah.
they've tested it, they'll do they'll get a family like a dysfunctional family, and they'll get the sensitive child.
I see.
They'll take blood draws before they sit and do a session. They'll do the session, and then afterwards, everybody's as good except the kid that's really sensitive, and it's actually worse because they like it. You know, I don't know how or
Yeah.
why. So I was just like, okay, that sounds like me. And so in high school, Dad tried to make me the wife, I guess. I'm having to grocery shop, take care of my brother, be a high school fucking kid. I just lost my mom. I'm watching gunfights every night. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, fuck everything.
I see.
I've got to just.
Yeah.
So weed really helped me a lot. But that's kind of why I said fuck everything.
Okay. So
yeah.
thank you for that. Fast forward back up to shamanism. How did we get there?
Shamanism. In 2010, as I'm getting in, I was healthy, getting into fitness, right?
Yeah.
Inspired. And then something changed where, I don't know if it was a fork in the road or what. I found myself doing these meditations where, and now that I know, I would journey. I would meditate, and I would find myself, next thing you know, I'm looking out the window and there's these hawks and I could call up like these animals. It sounds crazy. The weather would change. Synchronicities would happen. I would get vivid, lucid dreams, and I would have prophetic dreams. And I would call people and say, "Did you know this?" And how did you know that?
So rewind just a little bit. Maybe I missed it, but you jumped from right into this. What is shamanism?
Shamanism is just another, for me, it's like a nature-based spiritual practice.
Because like when I think shaman, I'm totally wrong probably, but I'm thinking like in the jungle ayahuasca journeys with a guy that's kind of like
with
really
blowing
dirty
rapé and like yeah.
So is that
He's a shaman too.
okay?
He's a shaman too.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
Like, what's the definition? Do we know the definition of
Google,
shamanism?
like shamanism. Should I Google it?
Yeah,
Let's Google it. Shamanism.
I'm curious.
Let's look it up. A system of religious practices historically often associated with indigenous and tribal societies involves a belief that shamans with a connection to the other world, the power to heal the sick, communicate with spirits, and escort souls of the dead into the afterlife. I said fuck mediumship. I tried to do that.
Via what mechanism though? Like doing what? Like just
No,
or,
for
you
me,
know.
it's rituals. I mean, you could do fire. For me, it was happening in meditation. I
Okay.
would just go into meditation, and just the time that I sat there, things would start.
And like where did you go to how did you find your local shaman? Like, you know, how did you maneuver your way into that universe?
My grandmother just died, so you know how I said talk to dead.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. They used to
Okay.
show it to me. It happens still sometimes, and I'm like, but I kind of like really shut that out. Fuck, it's a lot. Like, can I just worry about the alive ones? You know, my grandmother just died, and I'd seen spirits as a kid, but they told me like, oh, you're just seeing stuff, you know, whatever, imagination. My grandmother just died. I'm in her closet going through shit because they wanted me to get something. And I literally hear her voice as if she's like, it's just like right now.
Yeah.
I want you to think of a song and don't tell me who's singing it. Just tell me when you got a song.
All right.
Who's singing it?
Jared Leto.
That's a medium. If you ask someone else that doesn't have that, they'll say, I'm singing it. It's their own voice singing it, but you heard his voice.
Yeah.
So that's like being a medium.
Okay.
I heard her voice talking to me in my head, just
I
like
see.
a song. And I'm literally like talking back to her. She's telling me like, Lord, this closet's so dirty. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I questioned my sanity. Like, I'm talking to myself, but it's my grandmother, you know? And I remember going outside and being in the middle of a dragonfly swarm and going, this is fucking weird. What does this mean? I need some answers. So I get on the phone and find a damn psychic person.
Okay.
It's a medium. I'm like, dude, what is going on?
We're on 2010.
We're on 2010.
Okay.
I'm like, what is this going on? And then shout out Arthur. He kind of showed me what was happening on a spiritual, like, hey, you're not fucking crazy. Here's what's going on. you got this thing here. You want to do something with it? Because I had kind of heard it before and I was terrified. When I went to my first psychic, she goes, honey, you know you've got this gift and you would have done. I'm like, oh, it's all good. Just tell me what's up. You know, I was really scared because I was taught, it was witchcraft. That is shit. You will die now. Devil, devil, devil.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So from there, you got into that, and you take me to connect that one to the business.
The business. I'm coming.
Yeah.
So in that, I got addicted to fitness. I found the shamanism, but I said no to that. And I said yes to competition. Yes to fucking going all in. Yes to beating my fucking self. Let me get as skinny as I fucking can. Let me get as jacked as I fucking can. No matter what. Kind of like money. Let me make as much fucking money as I can. I'm going to stay up late. I'm going to fucking grind. I went in that mindset. I should have just paired both. Can you just pair, your spiritual and anyway.
Yeah.
So I went down that path and I was so sick. I mean, like, yes, I went pro. Yes, I was on stage. I got in magazines. It was like really cool. And many girls would like, I would have loved to be where I was at. And it was cool. Yeah. But man, I mean, you're talking miserable. Like the lifestyle. Oh, I mean, why? At the time I liked it, I felt like it gave me this edge. I felt really powerful because I could control everything that went in my mouth. Like all these fucking fat motherfuckers can't even do this, and I can fucking eat cold goddamn tilapia with gel on it. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got it. But really it was self-destruction. It was a self-hate. It was like not nurturing. It was like, yeah. So, let me do 2 a days. Let me just really, can I bleed because that means I'm going hard? Can I just beat myself because that means I'm good enough? So it's all these fucked up, all this shit of inadequacies that's driving the train to be fit. And anyway, got into another MLM company. I got into a company, MLM, because I was doing my business, like struggling to make maybe 40K a year, 30K a year, doing personal training, Yeah. Hated it. I was like, I got to get online. Started kind of dibble dabbling with online stuff, meal plans and whatnot. Never had a mentor, really, just fitness coaches because I wanted to be the best fit person. I'm trying to think of how we parlay this in. Well, you're 2010, you and I met okay. Hot Moms. 2 years ago now. Hot Moms origination. So I'm really unhealthy, did all this shit, started MLM, went even pair the fitness go hard with MLM, me finding the money machine. Yeah. Call everybody do this, do that. You've done MLM, right? Yeah. So it was just like the perfect storm once again. And I landed myself with shingles. Here I was in Texas with Miss Olympia, Jenny Lynn, RIP. I'm in her house because we're working together. We're on the same team because she's had some fit. Yeah. And I have shingles. Bro, shingles outbreak. And I'm like 26 or 27. And I had a friend at the time. She was kind of like one of the weird shaman ladies at the time because I thought they were weird. And she's a nurse. And she told me, she goes, if you don't slow down, you're going to have a stroke and end in the hospital. I just want you to know that. She goes, you have fucking shingles. And I was like, oh, maybe, whatever. And I ended up going to an MLM seminar, Danny Johnson, fucking love her. And she's kind of like me. She's really raw. And she's had a really hard life too. And that's what got me. That's what got my attention. She was homeless and then millionaire kind of thing. And she just kind of got in my face, not in my face, but like talking. Yeah. And it was like being in church. Something happened. And I was like in prayer and this thing, I was just like, I want success. I don't know. I just want it. And I said to myself and another friend that was with me, I said, I don't know, but I'm going to be a millionaire by 35. I just put it out there. I don't even know. But I said, well, be a millionaire by 35. And I was like, I want success. And I kept seeing kids. And dog, everything in my mind, I'm like, hell no, Oprah don't have no kids. Dolly don't have no kids. Successful bitches do not have kids, period, end of story. I don't want to be a fucking mom. They suck. Because they are. They all have excuses. My kids are sick. My kids are this. I'm so fat. I just can't have time. They were disgusting to me, literally. And I used to, when I was a kid, because my mom told me I was like, ruined her life. She'd say, I love you, but damn, if you want your life to be over, have kids. Wow. So in my mind, kids were the not success. But I kept having these visions of success and I just said, fuck it, man. Something like my heart opened up and I was like, okay, let's do it. And Skip, poor old Skip, we'd been together 10 years at the time without kids. And I said, let's try to have kids, And sure enough, got pregnant. That was 2015. I had Grady, the first one. And that fucking rocked my world, dog. Like all the trauma that I did not think I fucking had came out. I had postpartum depression, which means you are very sleep deprived and you don't know it. You just had this baby. I was terrified. scared shitless, because you look at it, you're like, are you gonna die? Like, you get psychosis. You go to sleep, you'll close your eyes. I shit you not, you'll close your eyes to go to rest, and you'll wake up thinking they're crying. Or like, are they dying? Are they breathing? You'll get in the shower and hear babies cry. I'm not shitting you.
Yeah.
Like, and then I remember I'll have these fucked up thoughts, like when I have him in the bathtub about people drowning babies. I'm like, oh my God, am I crazy? I didn't want to drown him. I didn't want to hurt him. But I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like, and then work, I'm trying to make money. Like, I was kind of like semi the breadwinner at the time. I think I'm making 6 figures at this time.
Okay.
So and I've got videos of them in the like jumper and the fucking thing. I'm vlogging. I look like hell. Tired as fuck. If you see a video of me, I'm walking in the grocery store doing a video. I mean, I look like death. I have dark circles. My hair looks horrible. Of course, I have fake hair now, but like, you can just tell I'm really tired.
Yeah.
Exhausted and walking dead. But it rocked my world. And I didn't feel like I bonded with him for a good 3 months. I'm trying to breastfeed because, that's what good moms do. It was miserable. I fucking hated it. And it was just all this self-judgment. It was fucked up. And at that moment, let me think. I knew I wanted another one. I know that's crazy, but I said, I grew up like by myself. I am not going to do this. I can't do this. I want to, and it sucks so bad. I want it over now. I think it's 6 months old when he was 6 months. By the way, because I know you guys are probably going to have a child. When they start sleeping, it's great. But honestly, I was just so kind of fucked up until then. I couldn't enjoy the kid.
Yeah.
You're so different because of your clearings and everything you have. Like, you'll get to enjoy the child and you'll have money. Like, it's just, you're a different mindset. So I was just in a poverty, scarcity. I had all my shit I've never sat with before. It all comes up when you have kids. And that's what women don't know this. Wow. They think that kids fucked them up. It's everything that you've never dealt with. Your kids are only a reflection. That's it. So that's why a lot of moms will resent their kids. It's like, so anyway, so I got pregnant, lost that one. That fucking sucked. I think I lost that one when I was like 8 to 10 weeks, but I got pregnant a month later. And then after that, new exhaustion. I was pregnant in the Georgia heat, man. I was like, oh my God, it's done. But my second one, I enjoyed him. I didn't have postpartum. I knew what to do. I wasn't as scared. I was terrified with my first one. So I wasn't as scared. I got to enjoy him more. But then I had guilt because I didn't with the first one and, all this other shit. And at that time, my second one, I'm like, I think it was my second, because the first one, honey, okay, I'm still in fitness mode. Yeah. I went out to LA 10 weeks post C-section with my first child and did a photo shoot. Okay. I got in a magazine. Yeah. But I was like, I'm going to prove that I can do it. Yeah. And I did. So I had to do that. But the second one, it kind of got me, man. 2 kids is different. And I was like, I literally, can't work out like I used to. What am I going to do? Yeah. I'm not eating. Like, your whole life goes from this to different. So I was like, I got to figure this out.
And we're at 2000, what now?
16.
Yeah, you had them back to back. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to figure this shit out. And at the time, I think I had a few other moms. I said, let me just do this $20 a week. I'm going to just send out meal plans, shit I'm eating, because I ain't tracking shit at this time. I'm eating healthy as I can. And I'm just going to send out what I'm eating for $20 a week and the workout I'm doing. Because I know if I'm doing it, people are going to want to know what I'm doing. Yeah. And that was a hit. We called Mommy Maintenance. What was it called? Mommy Maintenance Program. Nice. Yeah. And
a little less polarizing.
Yeah. 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 Mommy Maintenance Program.
Very nice.
So, and that was cute. That was real cute. But I still wasn't making the money I was wanting to make. I just paid $5,000 for a website. And I was like, oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be like Greg Plitt's membership base. I'm going to get rich. $10 a month. I'm going to be rich. And about that time that I finished my website, I heard about ClickFunnels. I think Russell Brunson got on stage at I had bought Grant Cardone's event online or something. Yeah. And I heard Russell talk about ClickFunnels. And I heard that and I'm like, this is kind of what I've been looking for. And then I heard about Kaylin Tool, which she ran that oh my God, what was her company that crushed it? Kaylin Tool.
I don't know that I've heard that name.
And Brandon, Dan Henry talks about them. She had the shakes, but it was like Lady Boss. Boss. Okay. So I worked the shake companies with her, and she, right? So she apparently went off and started Lady Boss and was killing it. My buddy Brandon came over. He goes, dude, guess what Kaylin's doing? 2 million she just hit, and I wanted to vomit. Because I'm like, holy shit, first of all, because, I went into, which is what sold me on your shit, where you like, do you feel like you know more than everybody else and you're not making the money they're making or some shit like that? That.
Sick of other people who are dumber than you making more money than
That's
you.
it. Yeah. So I felt like that. I don't think she's dumb at all. I think she's brilliant. And I see her shine. I just knew her story. And I'm like, all right, I got a story too. What the fuck am I missing? That's kind of how I was looking at it. Like, here I am, I work myself. What the fuck? Bought into ClickFunnels. Dude, and those done for you services that you tell us not to do? Yeah. I didn't have any money, took out a loan, got a client to pay me $10K and paid these guys with a deep done for you ClickFunnel. They're going to hack some funnels and run. Yeah, that kind of agency showed me that I didn't need that. Colossal. Like, I learned a lot. Yes, I learned a lot. Still didn't make me rich. Damn. Still grinding, still figuring some stuff out, and finally went high ticket back before I knew what high ticket was. I think I read a book, honestly. I know I read Be Obsessed or Be Average. And I was training competitors at the time. Because to me, it gave me worth. If I could turn girls pro, I'm good. And I was turning them pro, WBFF pro like that, because that's what I'm pro with. Got into all that, thought that was going to put me on the map. And I think it was Be Obsessed or Be Average. And then I read You Are a Badass at Making Money.
Oh, okay.
So one of those, I was like, let me put something together where I can help a person with their fucked up shit, their body, their health, and get them hooked up with my hormone docs. Because I found some hormone doctors at the time, 2016, found out I had adrenal fatigue. All those 10 years now, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Doctors were like, you have chronic fatigue. Legit, you've got like an autoimmune and your thyroid is fucked. So yeah, that's why you have acne. That's why I'm like, fuck, I'm literally like, thank you, Jesus. Got on their protocol. It was like I was a new person.
Wow.
Right? Kind of, sort of. But anyway, so I'm like, let me charge this girl $3,000 for 90 days and help her with her business. Because at the time, I think I was making like, I don't know, $15K a month maybe. Okay. Something, but to some people that are not making $8K, they're like, show me how to do it. Yeah. So $3K, and they got X amount of whatever. I think I sold like 2 of those, barely. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Yeah. And then I learned how to sell $10,000 for a year if you train with me. So, back then, like a 10K, even though it's for a year and you sell your soul.
Yeah. So, and this is 16,
this is
16,
like
17.
17.
Yeah.
But you remember what that was like. Yeah. And I didn't know what high ticket was. I just knew like, all right, let me sell my soul. Surely it's worth 10K. Yeah. And so then I started doing a little bit more differently. And I slowly merged into more of the life coach / you're going to get all my resources and find out how I have found a little bit like more happiness at this point. And my relationship, how we were working through things. We almost got divorced at one point because he turned to an alcoholic after his mother died and his kids moved away. Wow. So we were going through shit, new baby. A lot of people want to get divorced and their kids too. I'm like, don't. You guys just haven't fucked or had time without a screaming baby in 2 years. Please hang in there. Go to Mexico for a weekend. You'll find out why you fell in love. So we were going through some shit and I'm figuring that out. And I'm tapping in more to my gifts. Like I'm starting to trust myself more because I'm looking like I'm really helping people here. Yeah. And I started working with people like PhD people, Army Rangers.
Now, was there a cat? So there's this whole time I'm hearing this consistent persistence that is super rare. Like, where is that coming from at this point?
Persistence?
Yeah. Oh, like most people after fuck show after fuck show after fuck show. I mean,
it's a hero journey, right? It's a hero's journey.
Yeah, but were you aware of that?
I don't know what a hero's journey is. No.
I'm saying, like, what was your mentality at the time? Because so many people.
I want what I want.
Okay. And you were there was never any
settling. Yeah. I want to die. To give up on something that I want is just like, I know infatuation, we need to clear it. But for me, I wanted to be rich. I just wanted a certain thing. Yeah. And by God, I'm going to fucking go until I get that.
And it was just that you didn't have to like work to instill that. That's just the way you're wired, way you wired yourself.
Yeah.
Way you came out of the womb.
I don't find, and I don't know, it could be part of my trauma where it paid off, where like my dad, hard worker, it could be the way I think I receive love. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it is wired or was it how I receive love. Yeah. Or an attention. I don't know. I think that's where a lot of people like Tony Robbins, his trauma served him well. Yeah. So I don't know.
I think me as well, a similar type of, it's just interesting because I know people that are watching this are like, that's amazing, but how do I get myself to continue and persist after bullshit after bullshit after bullshit after bullshit?
And I just think you just gotta have a goal. What do you want? Is it you want this shit? You want something else?
What about the people who are saying I have a goal to make $1 million in a year, but they don't, like, their actions aren't congruent with that?
Okay. I think maybe it's discomfort. I was not comfortable. Maybe.
Okay.
But some people are comfy in their pile of shit.
Yeah.
So, let's see, where did that come from? Okay. I tell you what, I was surrounded with good people. Growing up, now I tried to commit suicide at 17. I took too many Lexapro and tried to just like go to sleep forever. Because I was surrounded. You never heard that saying that says, before you deem yourself as like unworthy, make sure you're not surrounded by assholes?
Ah, yeah.
So I thought I was depressed and I thought I was really fucked up, but I was surrounded some motherfuckers that were depressed and had nothing going for them. It's exactly when my brother is in prison right now. He stayed with them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So it's like I always had these little hidden angel people that would just give me one little thing like, you should do this. You could do that. And that may be something, because I'm trying to think of, in school, I was around friends that were going to college. So that kind of was peer, like, I'm going to do this. So I was surrounded by good people, I'm thinking. And then when I got into competition, I was at the gym working out. And this man, Mark, he was a real positive guy. I saw them. I was like, they got money and like, they do pretty good and all this stuff. And he goes, girl, you should get up on stage. You could do that right now. You could do that. And that was just like, really? And then Skip, my husband, he got drafted by the Pirates in 94. And he grew up like Mr. What a Man. He was Mr. Popular and superstar, right?
Yep.
Mr. Likable, but good looking and all this stuff. But Skip has magic to him. Anything or anybody Skip gets around, they do better. Yeah. So, and he used to want to be a motivational speaker. He used to work for church and lead thousands to Christ. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
Because when I met him, he told me.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. He told me when I met him, he goes, that stuff you're into is not right. It's like witchcraft. And I was like, oh, whatever. Now that motherfucker's like basically in it deeper than I am. So, because he's very intellectual.
Yeah.
He's like, kind of like you. Like, y'all are not, I don't feel like, from this fucking planet in a good way.
That's a fact.
Right?
Yeah.
So Skip really likes powerful women, and his mom was a powerful woman. She ran a company, and like she was seen, and they were in politics, and that kind of thing. And so Skip saw something in me. He claims, he goes, I knew you were something. I knew you had And so Skip was always kind of supporting me and kind of like, you can. He never for once put any doubt in my mind. So I think that I was surrounded by just people that believed in me when I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear like all the stuff that they tell you to do being kind of realized on your own. It's just fascinating, because it's just like, it's the way that it's told is just kind of like, I just was steadfast out of the gate. And that's like not most people at all.
No. And I remember at the time, the guy that was teaching me shamanism, like who I was. Yeah. He knew I wanted money. And he goes, you just need to hang around millionaires. And I was like, well, fuck, Arthur. Where the fuck am I going to find those people? I will never forget getting mad at him and going, what the fuck you find those people? I didn't know about mentorships. I knew a lady that I thought made $1 million, or her husband did. I'm like, what am I going to do? Have tea with her? Yeah. But,
and so you then 16, 17, 18, when did hot moms become hot moms?
2016 or 17.
Okay. Got it.
But it didn't really kick off, I would say, until 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020, because I was struggling. I was doing about $20K a month, still doing a lot of online stuff. I had 2 coaches working like for me, and trying to sell high ticket and sell my soul for it. Yeah. And then I found like Dan Henry's shit. Right. That's when I found his shit, and he did like, what was that thing he taught? Webinar. Yeah. Webinar, whiteboard.
Yeah, whiteboard, webinar. Yeah.
Because I saw Arnie. I followed a guy, Arnie, that was, I followed him before Dan, and I saw him. He goes, I made $4,000 and something. I'm like, what? Yeah. And I think it was, I found Amanda Francis at the time. She had a program for money, women in business and money. So I paired what she did mindset wise with money, because women and worth. Okay. Yeah. With Dan Henry. It's like practical, here's how you do it, bro system. I was like, game on.
Bro system.
Because,
Yeah, I get it.
Because, women are typically like, believe you can do it and just have free to, do that. And whereas like bro stuff is like systems.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Nothing right or wrong. It's just you need both sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you've gotten yourself to a point to where you've done 200K months and all that stuff. What has been the biggest thing that you've learned in that whole journey?
So this is what I want to say. So when I was doing, I remember I met you with Dan, and I was wanting to hit 100K months.
Yeah.
And I think I hit 90 with him. I signed up with you, and it was funny as shit because I didn't even really, your program mindset, I wasn't turned on to. I saw your video and I was like, this, bam, it's great shit. Not until I saw your spreadsheets
Nah.
and the Teddy thing.
Yeah.
That I was like, I need that because I'd been like semi praying for, I was scared to make money because I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I was like, and you came out with this thing like, clearly going to show me what to do. So I felt safe, Anyway, but when I signed up with you and I found those clearings,
Yeah.
something working with you, and Skip says this too. He says you're like him in its different form because of some kind of safety that you provide. The energy of the container of Bulletproof and Teddy provides this like safety thing for me. I don't know what it is, but anyway, the clearings to me changed my life. I give them to my clients now, and they know your name. I will say, this is Bulletproof John. Okay. All right. I just want you to know, but it's a tool. It's like my doctors.
Yeah.
If something helps me, I'm going to share it with my people, but I can't explain. I know you can better than I can, but the clearings, I think something about that made me feel so safe. Like, you're like, hey, if you have fear, well, you're just going to clear it. And something in my mind was like, fucking game on. I'm like fucking literally bulletproof now.
Yeah.
Because no matter what comes up, you're like, well, just go clear it. So that was a huge thing. And that's signed up with you and Teddy.
Yeah.
And just being in your energy and having the clearings in a very strategic, systemized way, clear, just like you said, no emotions, just like there. What we hit? So we got me to the 2 something.
Yeah. There
220.
Yeah.
So over $100,000, big jump after I got in your container, because I feel like you pair all of that. You have the mysticism / mindset, the mental, which is like, metaphysical science, almost kind of, sort of, whatever you want to call it.
If whatever label you want to put
Whatever
on it.
label it is, it's just mind work.
Yeah.
With the systems. Ding.
I got it. So what was the learning though? Was it just if you had to say there was a lesson, that was more of a pairing mechanisms together?
Yeah.
Is there that whole journey of, what would you say is maybe not that you necessarily learned, or that maybe you reaffirmed to yourself along the way, or if there was one big takeaway that you could be like, that's the key? I know that's a really tough question.
In which part? The whole thing? Or the end?
Yeah. Along the way. What's like to know, is there something you kind of kept reminding yourself of, or
just one key thing is the thing that's like frustrating you, the thing that's like got you fucked up, you got to go inward. That's my thing. Is I like to know why. Like, why is this happening? Because it's just a pattern. Our minds are like a machine.
Yeah.
There's a misfire happening. There's a block there. You're scared of your success. If there's some fucked up belief that's got you stuck, what is it? And figure it out. That's just my personal thing. If I would have just sat instead of doing and all this other shit and just kind of went within and just fucking really asked myself a lot of these questions,
yeah,
I think I could have found out some, and just slow down a little fucking bit and trusted. It's slowing down, trusting, just slowing the fuck down. But the trauma energy and the thing that makes you feel like you're not, that keeps you going, slowing the fuck down, reflecting, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I want to ask you about the 2 things, and I'm going to try to loop them together eloquently. You mentioned you didn't teach your kids the whole believe in Santa thing. What's the brief version as to why?
I couldn't lie to them.
Why?
My morals, man. I couldn't do it. My heart couldn't do it. Those little kids looked at me. Grady's so smart. When he was like 2 or 3, so cute, John. Oh my God. And you'll see. That little girl boy looks at you, man. Oh my God. And because I grew up, like, I actually got very shamed and like thought I was a really bad parent, like damned for telling them the truth. But he looked at me and he's like, hey, Mom, he couldn't even talk well. And he's like, is Santa is he real? And I was like, oh man, this kid, I can't lie to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't fucking lie to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I was like, no, man. I said, we're Santa. We're Tooth Fairy. We're the bunny too. But I said, but I taught him the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah.
I teach him the spirit of Christmas. I teach him like the history of where Easter came from. You know, like that, what we know.
And then how did you then, like, he goes to, now you homeschool.
Now we do.
Yeah. But at that time, was he going to school and being like, hey,
They cuss too. They cuss like a motherfucker.
Yeah, well, that I have witnessed.
Awesome. So, but we tell them. So we just teach them. Hey, man, listen. It's other kids. They believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ever hear you saying and telling them differently, you're going to be in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you play along. You play along because it's just like us. You know, John. If you see somebody in their shit, even me, you know, you're this higher truth, and I may be like working through my shit.
Yeah.
Your job's not to sit there and be like, ha, you fucking idiot. You're like, okay, you know, to ask me some questions, to leave me there. Just let me believe what I want to believe.
Yeah.
It's not our job to force our beliefs on others.
Yeah.
You know? So I kind of that and cussing too. I'm like, don't fucking cuss in front of their kids.
So what's interesting, so what obviously, at least part of the premise of this show is truth about business. And so we talk about truth about Santa. The question I have written is, what is the number one most harmful lie that you see being sold to entrepreneurs? So might as well just ask that one.
That they need something else, that they need one more thing that's going to get them a thing, and one more thing that's going to get them a thing. And a lot of times it could be true.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what the problem is. But this is like this is a gray area here because I believe in mentorship. Don't buy anything because you feel like you lack. Buy something because it feels like you at the next level.
Mm.
You know, like, or is this person, do I need to be in this person's energy and what they have? Does this person emulate something that I desire, you know, that's something we could, whatever, not because they're above me, but because maybe they've got this cool tool or this gift, you know, that I'd love the codes for that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But not because I feel like I'm not good enough and they're better than me. That's fucking not going to be good.
What do you feel is the most harmful part about that lie?
Phew. Because you're going in a mindset of it's just not enough. And that person's only going to mirror back to you that you're not that. And you're going to probably lose money. If you buy things out of scarcity and lack, you're going to get more scarcity and lack. Yeah. Right? If you make decisions out of, I can't buy this now, figure out how the fuck to do it. Okay. You know, so the harm is the energy in which, the intention and the energy in which they enroll with that. You know, like this better fucking fix me. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Just go ahead and give them their money back.
Yeah.
You know?
What is it that, obviously you're fired up about that one. What is it that pains you the most about that?
They're looking at you to fix them. They can only fix themselves. We are the guides, we give the tools. Period. You know, that's why I don't like the done for you shit.
Yeah.
I don't like the done for you anymore.
Yeah. Tell me about that one with the ClickFunnels thing.
Yeah. So they tell you they're going to build your funnel. They're going to do your ads. They're going to literally create your business and launch it and make you a millionaire. But even when I hired ads people, like, to do everything for me. Yeah. You know, I still not, you know this, I still don't love, and if I had to learn how to do an ad, I would, but I'd rather hire it out. Right. But even at that, I still have a lot of control. It's fucking creatives that I want to do. It's audience. I still run the fucking show. Yeah. They're just like pressing buttons and doing what I tell them to do. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. Now, will I trust people? Do I trust people to do stuff? Yes. You have to. Yeah. All right. But done for you, man.
So how has that affected the way that you do business?
I create better systems and trainings for how I want shit to be done. So when I bring on the person to do that one thing, they have a layout of exactly what needs to be done. And they put their little thing that I don't have, their skill set, and run with it instead of, hey, handle all this for me and do it.
Yeah. Was that ClickFunnels done for you build, like the one and only time where you kind of learned that lesson the hard way? Or was there
That was the hardest way. Okay. The second time was I tried to hire a sales company. I tried to outsource where they train your salespeople and give you salespeople. Okay. I pulled out of that in a month because it sounded like a great idea. Because man, I had some pain. Oh man, at this time I was just like, it was just a nightmare. And I was like, this is pain in the ass. Let me outsource it.
And when was this?
This was recently. This was 2022, like September. Okay. And I think I asked you about it. Told you about it. Yeah. And at the time, I was just pain in the ass, hated the sales meetings, which now I'm like, Casey, just do the sales meeting at a different time. But then I was like, no, it has to be done at 9 a.m. It has to be done this way. So anyway, and you could take rest. I didn't know you could just take rest. Tell them just to take a break for a week. I didn't even have that in my mindset. So I was just fucking abandon all ships. Gotta let you go. I'm getting new people. Well, if you don't fix the problem, you're going to just have the same thing with the next salesperson. So here it goes, going to hit the table. So anyway, I hired this company. We're going to do it all for you. And they apparently get your avatar, like, let's see who would fit you. And I get on there with the guy, and who they found for me. First, he tells me that, like, I'm really hard because I cuss and I smoke pot sometimes. And I'm really hard, apparently, in the Christian market to hire salespeople. So, shocker.
Christian market?
Apparently. I don't.
Why are you in the Christian
market?
He
didn't say Christian market. I just guessed that when he talks to people and they look at me, it's people that don't cuss, because Christians typically don't cuss, right?
Yeah, but where did I must have missed it.
I just added that word in.
Oh, okay.
He just said you're very hard to hire for because of the cussing and the smoking pot. So, I'm probably not going to get a lot of Sunday school teachers. Maybe that's who he was asking. I don't know. So when he told me that, then he goes, so I found a couple girls. This one, man, she's awesome. She rides a motorcycle and has this color pink hair, and single mom of a special needs kids, and she don't give a fuck, and she loves this, and she's hardcore and all this. And I'm like, okay, so that's what you think of me, like, no, I've got love for the girl.
Yeah.
Much love.
Yeah.
But he kind of pegged me wrong in a way. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And I did this with copywriters too. They thought that just throwing in cuss words everywhere was going to be like, that's Casey, because it cusses everywhere. And I'm like, this is literally like you're trying to, like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
So when I felt that, of like how bad it was, just did not feel good, I was like, hey man, I got to pull out. What happened? And you thought it was perfect for you. And I'm like, I just, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, the done for you, man. I don't know. I'm not a robot. I don't want it to feel, I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't work, but it doesn't for me.
Yeah, I mean, my take on done for you is people are just looking for a way to delegate responsibility. And every time, the more responsibility you take, the more money you make. So if you're looking to delegate responsibility in terms of like a whole looking for somebody to take the fall for the lack of results, that's what I mean by, of course, you need a team and whatnot, but at least having run my agency, we had 400 clients, and I will tell you, they were 395 of them were the wrong clients.
Yeah.
And just what I learned was people are just looking for somebody else as the reason why they still aren't where they want to be.
That's it.
Yeah. It's not, I wouldn't recommend it.
That's it. That's why I didn't like personal training, because I'm like, if I got to motivate your ass to show up, what happens when I fucking can't train you? You're just going to get fat?
Yeah. Exactly.
I want a client that doesn't need me, but like, I don't know.
If I'm the source of your power, you got a fucking problem.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And also, I want to know, you kind of have really driven this home for me, or drove this home for me?
I think driven. We'll go with driven.
Driven.
Yeah.
Is if something goes down, one wheel falls off, you want to know that you can just handle it. And I feel like right now, like this morning, something happened with the sales page, and this happened and this happened. I literally was able to get in there on my WordPress site and fix it, and fix a bunch of shit, because I know how to do it. Yes, my WordPress engineer is phenomenal, but I also know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I could figure out how to do just about anything if shit came down to it.
Yeah.
That feels really good. It helps me sleep at night.
Yep. I can't wait for the people in the comments saying how dumb that is and why that's dumb. But for me, it works. I feel better.
Hey, I'm not making 900 million yet, so maybe I have something to learn. But hey, if they're gonna say that in the comments, but
well, hopefully they do. It'll show this video to more people.
Yeah.
What do you think needs to be taught or talked about more in business today?
Oh, this is just me, because it's irrelevant.
Well, you're the one in that chair right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Like the truth about what they're really doing.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean?
Let's see. So in business, if I'm going to hire somebody to, I don't know, for business advice or something, okay, let's look at their relationships. Have they gone through their third divorce? Can they keep a relationship? Does their kids know who they are? Kind of thing, and I know it doesn't matter, but it does to me, because I've taken business advice from people, didn't have the life that I really was craving. And it just got me kind of like burnt out. Now they're dead now from just drinking so much damn wine, because they had to numb out so much. Yeah. But that's kind of a big thing for me. Like, are their values similar? That's why I kind of like, I love Grant Cardone and stuff, but he's just funny as crap. But I like that he has a family. Now, he could be lying to all of us. Like he could be like a monster, but I like that he showcases family because I have a family.
Yeah.
So that kind of means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Why do you think that, talking about truth about what they're really doing? Because it seems as though, like, that's for me, the more transparent somebody is, the more I get to know somebody. I have a similar, and I think that's kind of a human nature thing, I think.
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. At this point, I'm everything's on the table as an option, but I think at least for me, what's really interesting is I've learned, because we get to see the undercarriage of like everybody's stuff, and we don't take that lightly. We don't, but we see the real truth behind everything. And having been in this industry and rubbed shoulders with some of the bigger names in the industry, gotten to know them, spent a lot of time with them. Many are very different than what you would think. And those who are touting how transparent and honest they are usually the ones that are not being honest. And so in my, like, at this point, I'm like, well, I don't want to be the guy saying how honest I am, because I know that's a red flag for those who understand, at least the basic mechanisms of, how people put out fronts. So what do you think of that whole dynamic of the put one thing out publicly and then do another thing behind the scenes? And
I like privacy. Listen, I'm not saying that you need to put everything out there.
Yeah.
I like how Dolly keeps her life, whatever. But there's just something in me. Maybe it's because I love humans. I don't know. And I used to think I didn't. Like, I just hired this mentor, remember the Rolls Royce lady.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And she was mystical.
Yeah.
I mean, so much love for her, but I didn't know a lot about her.
Yeah.
And the more that I got to know her, I had more love for her. Okay. And it almost made me respect what she was saying a little more. Like, if I know her, like, yeah, I know this is the way.
Yeah.
But tell me about when you didn't know the way.
Right.
And when did you realize the way? I fucking crave that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it just helps me a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. I think, I don't know. For me, that's why I told myself after getting out of the whole agency lead gen sales space, and like that I was never going to coach actual business before until I could actually have full transparency to somebody's actual business, not hear the dumbass story that comes out of their mouth. And
Yes.
What's remarkable is just the reality of like having the opportunity and privilege to being able to do that, and then also doing my best to be as transparent as possible with like clients like you, and be like, here's the reality of what's going on in my universe. Like, I don't know, like we have in the last 6 months, our profit margins are like 44%. I hear people doing similar numbers that are like, oh yeah, our profit margins are 76%. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But congratulations, I guess. But also, the reality of things is just so skewed that I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just trying to do a little bit better than I was personally doing last month, because I don't know what the fuck reality is.
It's like Vaughn said, everybody be capping.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing a very well-known, person
Yeah.
claim their dollars.
Yeah.
And then literally having them in a space where it's tanked.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
And they have to do this over again. To me, do you know, I feel like if that was known and you show how you got back out of it,
Yeah.
but there's shame in that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm with you. I love the transparency, because now I feel like I can do it. Like, you did something one time on a video, I think with your privates, and you were saying like, hey, you were struggling with this too, and you felt this way too, or you did it too. And I was like, oh, it feels so good. Because humans we connect through pain.
Yeah.
And if I know that you felt that way too, it's just a connection.
Yeah.
And I think people crave that. I know I do. I know I love connection. So if I hear like, oh, you too, not trying to be not trying to be like, stay there and be like,
Yeah.
oh, let's just be shitty. No,
Yeah.
no. The fact that you have means it's okay, and we're going to get better because you're fucking awesome.
Well, and I think it leads to like, if you've been in the, do you ever see the movie The Princess Bride?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
They go through this thing called the fire swamp. I use this analogy of the fire swamp, and it's watch The Princess Bride.
Okay.
But anyway, if you're gonna go through, it's a swamp with fire in it, and like big
Sounds
rats
enchanting.
that are like 800-pound rats.
Okay.
Anyway, comedy movie. So, would you rather go through the fire swamp with somebody who says they've gone through it but has never gone through it, or somebody who's gone through it, got a little burned but survived?
The second, please.
Right. Exactly.
And
Right.
I want to hear them say it. And I want to know the story.
Yeah, and I want to see the scar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's,
You know, but I think it's really, I think that's really what it is. It's just like, I'll say, it's not even like the, oh, you're human too thing. It's just like, oh, you actually have done this before, you know, like,
Yeah.
if I'm going to trust you, because I've been, you know, a few of my stories, like I've been around some interesting cats, and have been led into some very interesting directions that have led me to be much more aware of the reality of life and business. So yeah, it's really interesting, because you don't want to go too far and just to be, I can't trust anybody.
No.
But you trust everybody and you're fucked. So
Yeah.
it's always somewhere in the middle. And that, my favorite quote, knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is knowing not to use it in a fruit salad. So
yes, that's
you got to
good.
know you got to understand context, and you got to understand evaluation, and that what you have is a lot of intuition, which sounds like that
Yeah.
was the main driver of this whole journey so far.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I've even consulted you on your intuition on me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did it help?
Very much so. I'm still standing, breathing, and in here talking to you. So we made it this far.
That's perfect. And I
Yeah.
do want to say about the Santa, if you look it up, like psychology
Yeah.
is all green lights are telling your kids the truth.
Yeah, so it's funny because we're now, January 14th, and we were in Connecticut with my wife's family for Christmas, and we were talking about that exact thing, about telling your kids about Santa or not, and they were very vehemently, you gotta like tell them about, you gotta like lie to your kid, basically. And they're like, well, it's not really lying. I'm like, well, what is it exactly? If it's not, is it telling the truth? No.
See, I mean, been brainwashed.
You know,
People's been brainwashed.
yeah. And I'm just like, I personally don't want my kid growing one of the first things that happens is I lie to him about a fucking old fat man with a beard, a bunny rabbit that plants eggs, and all this stuff. Like,
And that they can only get something once a year.
yeah.
And you have to be good so you get something.
Yeah.
You can get something because you're just you.
That's some propaganda shit. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, life's hard enough, you know, like why do I need to introduce now there's going to be a moment where my kids just, what else have you lied about?
Not to mention, did you get low-key depressed on Christmas Day when you were a kid? Did you believe in Santa when you were growing up?
At a point. Yeah.
But like, you remember like the build up and then the day Christmas is over? It's fucking like the most depressing thing ever.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'm like, how can we make this whole thing more joyful? Because people put so much into Santa and all this thing. I'm like, dude, that's not the real reason for the season, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's more joy than that one fucking day.
Yeah.
In doing that. Do
Yeah.
we still go sit? Do we still get filled with glee and magic when we see Santa? We were at Big Sky, Montana in the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Santa fucking came in. Dude, I act like Mickey Mouse is there. The kids are like, we don't believe in it, but we're still giddy.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
It's more the spirit and the play of it than it's like knowing, it's like, I think as a kid playing make believe, because it's fun to play make believe rather than believing that you're actually, in a spaceship in your
Yeah.
bedroom or whatever, right?
Yeah. And if you're going to make your kids believe in that, why not make them believe they can actually like be somebody and that their thoughts are things?
Yeah.
And that if we're going to go there,
Yeah, it's really interesting because I look at it like with clients too. Like I have a responsibility. I feel like at this point, everything, it's tough because you got to go craft a seductive offer. And that has to be a very big promise. And it's basically, hey, there's this dude Santa. He brings you a bunch of free shit, and all you got to do is follow these rules. It's like that might as well be on an ad. You know what I mean?
People would love it.
And then what happens is they click on the ad, they buy the thing, and then they find out that that's not real, and then they get pissed and they do a chargeback, and now that guy has a bad reputation. It's the same principle.
Same.
And yeah, I'm not about that life.
And when you have a little kid too, I know you're going to be like, God, how do people lie to him? When they ask you, like, is it real? It's just, because they're not let down.
Yeah.
They're not let down because they never believed in them anyway. They just want to know, like, hey, is this a lizard?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because they asked me, Grady asked me something the other day that was funny as shit, but I was like, no, man, that's, he goes, okay. He just wanted to know, like,
Yeah.
validate
Yeah.
this because I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they're relying on you as the source of knowledge and truth,
Yeah.
then tell them the truth.
Yeah,
you know?
we have the connection, the emotional. We're not taking shit away. They never had it.
Yeah.
Simply asking you a question, is it real or not?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What's one question all entrepreneurs should ask themselves if they want to be truly successful?
Because a lot of people, if you ask them who they are, they're like, oh, my name, my parents, my last name, and they're still mommy and daddy's little prince or princess, still trying to make other people happy. They're not,
So who are you?
they're not free.
And what do you stand for?
I stand for freedom, man. Today I said, I even found out today, dude, destiny. I'm not going to use that word anymore. I'm going to use free will. Yeah.
Why?
Because I think I was looking up the Latin term, and when I looked up destiny, it was so closely related to fate. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. But no, free will is my whole life. I don't know if it's because I'm a woman. I don't know, maybe you feel the same way. Maybe because you want to free your mind. But freedom, man, it just feels good. Whether you're freeing your fucking tits, you're going naked, you're freeing yourself, you're breaking, you're leaving the hellhole, man. Freedom, it feels good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's just, there's nothing like it. Everybody I talk to, every color, no matter where they're from, religion, because we got them all in our community. Everybody just wants the same thing, man. They want to feel free. They want to be free, whether that means free time, mental. They don't want to feel like responsible for someone else's happiness. They don't want to feel dependent on this or dependent on that. They want to be off the hook. People want to be free.
Yeah.
So I stand for that. I want to free people of the pain, the burdens, the free, where I found freedom and estranged from my family, you know, that was a big thing of freedom for me. And then the first one was what? Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? Right now, I'm Casey, 3D Casey, you know, but I'm also this big energy that just wants to be happy, you know, I want to be happy. I like people, they're happy when they're around me. That's kind of the vibe, man. Can we just, it's like Poppy. If you've ever watched Trolls.
Unfortunately, no. It seems I missed out on that
Great movie. So if you Trolls, like, I feel like Poppy. If you just watch that, and you gotta watch it, dude. I'm telling you, man, it's a fucking good movie. It's a great movie, Poppy. So that's
Sweet. So here's a good question. So you know Tim Grover,
yeah.
the relentless guy,
Yeah.
right? So he says there's a dark side connected to every successful person.
Absolutely.
What's your dark side?
Oh, fuck. This is the illusion. This is what we're talking about. Literally went over this last night. I wondered why I was going through this last night. Here we go. So everybody I've ever worked with, you know, you get in and you think they're going to be something and somebody lets you down. Always going to get let down. And it's because you're putting these people on a pedestal. You're putting these people above you or whatever. And yes, you can trace it back to fucking trauma and shit. But at the end of the day, we are all human. Humans, some gnarly shit, man. It's fear. You know what I'm saying? Path to the dark side is fear of loss. And like my house burning, I love in a way that happened because I feel so powerful. Not a lot of people can do that. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Because they've been in their fucking same house their whole fucking life.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, I'm free, baby. I don't have attachment. And that's the goal. Even in the Bible, it's like non-attachment. In Zen masters, that's all they're trying to teach us, man, is how to not be attached. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because it's got you, God damn it. So the fact that we're human, we're all fucked up, we're all attached, we're all fear-based, we're all fucking inadequate feeling, we all goddamn insecure, we lie to ourselves, we lie to other people. You know, deep down, we all have that shit, but we also have the flip side, because you can't have one without the other. So do I think there's a dark side to everybody? Fuck yeah, dude. I literally today in my community said, hey girls, I said I'm going on an apology tour. I said, what video in my shit, I have thousands of videos. I said, what video doesn't feel good to you? What video of mine makes you feel like shit doesn't give you a solution? Because I don't want to, that's my old message, man. I used to lead people in with fear and like, you're fucked up. And go on my fucking soapboxes and it's just filled with shame and guilt because I had that in me and still do. I'm not claiming to be fucking healed. I'm going to be on my deathbed still like learning lessons. But I said like today, okay, I only want solutions. So tell me right now what video you feel like just like made you feel bad about yourself and did not give you a fucking solution because I'm taking it out. You know, so do we all have darkness? Fuck yeah. Catch me on a bad day and I can't get into my flow and or I don't have the whatever. Dude, I'm going to yell at the fucking dog. I'm going to yell at my kids. I'm going to say some shit I probably shouldn't say. I've gotten wiser and I learned like who to not talk to during that time, but fuck. You know, yes, there's darkness to all of us.
Yeah.
Fucking people, God, fuck yeah. I don't even want to know half the shit that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But it's beautiful. So much, because I don't want to fuck with people that don't have that darkness.
Yeah.
No, because they're not light.
Yeah.
It's like I want to fully experience life. And unfortunately, you're not going to find that in the mid ground.
No.
You're not going to find that in the neutrality,
No.
whatever. To be really fucking happy, you're going to be really goddamn sad.
Yeah.
That's just what I found to be true. I can hold those floors because there's a flip side to it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've debated because I feel like I need to do a lesson on this or maybe a YouTube video on this or something about, and I might even add it to our, like one of the first things that you do, because so many, our shit's good, but I'm always trying to figure out how to make it better. And the people that don't get quite as far along, I'm like, the reason is you're just not pissed off enough about where you're at. And I'm like, there's an interesting quandary about kind of deliberately, I'll say, eliciting that or even installing that to a degree to where it's just like the only way you become a billionaire is being pissed off by being a deck of millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's not, no, this is just one of the, I forget whose quote it was, but the difference between billionaires and millionaires has something to do, there's higher standards and just saying no to fucking everything that isn't absolutely.
No, your guy,
Yeah.
you posted, a guy you work with, you go to his mansion and he's got a video on like money and you shared it. And I go, John, that was fucking great.
Yeah.
What was it?
Oh, Jeremy.
Yeah, but what was that video called? It was so good. Monster dangers, something dangers of being broke. I don't know, but he talks about when you can't, like your dog, he goes, you're sad when your dog dies. He goes, if you had enough money, you could get it cloned.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
Yes, exactly that. 100%. So anyway, it's just there's a level of it's a constantly holding a dissatisfaction and using it as a tool instead of having it use you, right?
Yeah, letting it mean something.
Yeah.
Stories like
Yeah. And I think I don't know, it's a very interesting dance of being able to hold these ideas simultaneously.
It is.
And it's a fascinating one to navigate because it's like to a degree I could argue Brandon Carter and I talk about this almost every week. Is just like I could make an argument for either side. And I think that there's a really good, like, attorneys, that's their job, right? No matter what this is the argument you're defending.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think how does this parlay into sales and business is I think the better salesperson you are, the more you can make the argument and the counter argument very logically. Like I could sell against my stuff.
Yep.
Right. Just as well as I could sell for it.
Same.
And then it just becomes a choice of what tool do you want to use and where, and then how good are you at crafting arguments. And if you're good at crafting arguments, then you can craft an argument for literally any sort of scenario or perspective. And it just that's where it becomes really interesting, because when we talk about clearing charges, really it's just shifting perspective. You're selling yourself on a new way of looking at things in a way that really causes you to actually look at things differently. Therefore, you'll take different action and so on.
Yes. You remember when the hurricane came through?
Yeah.
What was that? Well, what's called?
September. Yeah.
So
Ian.
Yeah. All right. So we had a choice because it was coming straight for us. Remember? I mean, damn. And I was like, all right, dude, what feels good to me is to go across where it's not going to go to. We're just going to have a little vacation.
Yeah.
But people were like, oh, I'm so sorry. You're evacuating. I'm like, shit, this mommy's just going on vacation, man. We're just going to go on a little fun vacation.
Yeah.
Two ways to look at that.
Yeah. 100%.
Now, there's a fine line, I think, between delusion, like being delusional and like not facing your shit, and spiritual bypassing.
Yeah.
But it comes down to if you will invest in things that will help you to increase your emotional intelligence, life gets to be way easier.
I would agree.
Period.
No. So on that, what does it mean to you to be a bulletproof entrepreneur?
Oh man, well, love this. What does it mean to be bulletproof is having the tools to handle whatever comes through. And it came through today. Something happened today and I was like, it doesn't matter because I just feel like whatever, it could happen. You know, your charge clearings are so powerful. And also your content though. I don't want you to ever think your content's not. Because your energy, you've done so much work, just your energy is so neutral and that's not around. That's not out there a lot, you know? So when we listen to your content, you have a way of just calming it down, taking the emotion out, and then we can make better decisions. Just listen to how you teach on things. One of your things you teach, I don't know, emotional tone skill.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
I have that with your login to my sales team.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, I teach them and they go through my stuff, Cole's stuff about just gift of gab, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Understanding people. But the other day she got on and I said, did you see your tonality? She's depressed. And you're like, hi.
Yeah.
I was like, you need to ask her, how does that make her feel when she does that? Because if you knew she was frustrated, now we're doing, but if she's you're going to have to take this a whole different way. I said, you know, John's got a training.
Yeah.
You know, because you have a beautiful way of just making it so simple.
Working on it. Thank you.
That is what bulletproof means to me. It's like literally whatever happens, you've got the antidote.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. What question should I have asked that I didn't ask?
What would you say it feels like before you were, you know, wanting to make a million versus how would you describe the feeling of being a millionaire?
The first word that comes to mind is control.
Okay.
And I say that cliche wise freedom, but control and options. Like it just feels, I like very much like the ability to have options and freedom of choice. That doesn't necessarily mean that like, I like the option to be able to, I know I could totally take Tuesday totally off if I really wanted to. Yeah. I'm not going to fulfill what I, promise clients and all this stuff, but I could take the whole next month off if I really wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I like the ability to go where I want, when I want, even though I don't necessarily take advantage of that constantly. Cause I think also it's like you win the lottery every single day of your life. It becomes boring.
Very.
But I would say control and options. And it just, that makes me feel, I've eaten shit just like you've eaten shit to a degree to get to, to this point. And it feels good to have persisted to get to the other side of that. Not that I'm on the other side or anything, but,
yeah.
And also a counter to that is you realize that $1 million is nothing.
Oh my God. I'm like, seriously, 100K months. I'm like, whew.
It's nowhere near. I don't know. Melissa and I talk about this every day. And now this is going to sound, roast me in the comments and it'll show this video to more people. But I don't understand how people live on less than like 20 grand a month. I don't.
And we once did that, and it felt like shit.
I remember when $8 grand a month was like, was just like an enormous amount of money, and now like the perception of money just changes so much. And I hear, we have people in our communities and whatnot that are obviously like, still struggling mightily and whatnot, and in our audience base. And it's just like, oh, what are you doing a month? Just like, $2K. I'm just like, what? How? In today's day and age and there was a point to where there was 8 years where I was making less than that. Same. I get it, but I'm also like put myself back there. I'm like, God damn.
That was survival, dog.
Yeah.
Now I have different stress. It's a different stress other than survival because there's more trust in my abilities and stuff like that. For me, it feels like support.
Yeah.
And I love the options as well. I still get pissed because I don't have the options I want. Apparently, I'm going to make a fuck ton of money because I'm like, I need a
Gulfstream
minimum.
Yeah.
I need jets.
Yeah. I can't be flying commercial.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like a fucking peasant when I go there now.
No. Yeah. Every time. Now it's funny because so my little private, but like I take the little plane to Miami and back.
I love it. I'm like,
this dude flies me in a Cessna. When we went to with us and Brandon and we went to the Bahamas.
Yeah, I'm like, what's that cost?
That was what did we do? We had a private plane. It wasn't a jet, but it was an 8-seater.
What is it, like 40 grand?
No, that whole trip was like 15.
Wow.
Total.
Because I look up shit, it's like 40 grand.
No.
Each way.
No, that's if you like take an actual like jet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. But for us to fly, like it's Florida to the Bahamas. It was an hour flight in a Cessna, or in like a bigger Cessna. But either way, like my point isn't even the quality of the plane. It's being able to roll up to the hangar and just walk on a plane. Like once you've done that, as I think the saying, I don't know whose quote this is, but it's damn accurate, is a luxury once experienced becomes a necessity.
Amen.
So just that alone is if for those of you watching this, if you have the opportunity, get around, like experience one or two little things, even if it's going out to like a really nice restaurant.
Or all-inclusive Mexico thing, if you're going to go on a vacation or something.
Yeah. Something that puts you a little bit on the other side of your current ability.
Get a full pedicure, man.
Yeah.
A full tilt pedicure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like this office that I spent like 30 grand to redo everything in here. And I'm just like, this is more fitting. This makes more sense to me, you know? So
yeah.
Could I have done that starting out? No, but it's just like constantly putting myself in an environment and experiences that allow me to understand like what else is out there. Once you experience that, like,
and it stretches us for us, because I don't want to settle. I always want to just kind of, how happy can I fucking get?
Yeah.
And it's not she's greedy or she's this.
Yeah.
That. Man, why?
Yeah.
Like, this is what we love to do.
Yeah. And to me, it's not about happiness. I don't know if I'm like, if you ask me, am I happy? Like, I don't know. But
Which day is it?
Well, it's just in general, I'm just like, I don't really think of it in terms of I'm trying to be happy. I like to do cool shit. Does that make me happy? I don't know. I wouldn't use that word.
It's fun.
But it is fun. And it is a nice feel. I mean, who doesn't like to, experience cool shit?
And it's a challenge.
Yeah.
When I see something else and some baller, I'm like, challenge. Okay, let's roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where can people learn more about what you do and who you are, and where can they follow you and all that
I
stuff?
got channels everywhere. We got YouTube channels, Casey Shipp, Instagram. I don't really like my TikTok right now because we don't know what we're doing. But CaseyShipp.com.
Cool.
Yeah, I think you came up with the thing that says go from feeling, I know.
Oh yeah, you're using that?
It was there. I don't know if we took it off, but I think it's still there.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
From a fat piece of shit to a hot piece of ass.
In 90 days.
And
I swear.
Oh man. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say to close out?
Well, this is your show, man. I mean, you tell me.
Cool. Well, then we'll just close out then, because I think that was beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I had a riot.
That was fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool.